Christie Sides has been fired. She is out as the Indiana Fever coach.
There are ups and downs, certainly, but I'm proud of the growth of the Indiana Fever. Excited, about the future of the Indiana Fever, and unfortunately, we're the ones that have to play them in the first round. But at the same time, there's always a special place in my heart for that organization.
Big news is shaking up the WNBA as Stephanie White, the current head coach of the Connecticut Sun, is rumored to be considering a move to the Indiana Fever.
So, Stephanie White, former Indiana Fever coach, is currently being recruited.
And she's not just any coach. White is one of the most respected figures in women's basketball. But what's even more exciting? She's reportedly eyeing a partnership with Caitlin Clark to chase a WNBA championship.
Certainly in Indiana, it's my home state, and seeing the fans back in the building, for the Fever is important. It's gratifying, certainly, because Indiana is the basketball state.
That's right. Caitlin Clark is staying in the U.S., and here is the off-season workout to prove it. But wait, there's a twist. Angel Reese is pulling out all the stops to bring White to the Chicago Sky, making this one of the most thrilling coaching sagas in recent WNBA history. So, who will Stephanie White choose? Stick around as we dive into this explosive story. Stephanie White isn't new to success. A former WNBA champion as a player.
34-1 and national champion. 62-45. Purdue, in a game that was much closer than the final score would indicate, has won the national championship.
She's now made her mark as one of the league's top head coaches. White led the Indiana Fever to the WNBA Finals in 2015 and has been a force with the Connecticut Sun.
Connecticut Sun have announced a new head coach. Stephanie White has been hired by the Sun, replacing Curt Miller,
consistently making deep playoff runs. She's known for her tactical brilliance, strong player relationships, and ability to turn teams into championship contenders. White's return to Indiana would be full of nostalgia.
The Indiana Fever, let's celebrate. It's time to celebrate. Basically saying what we all hoped.
As she once guided the Fever to some of their most successful seasons. Now, with Caitlin Clark as the centerpiece, a reunion with the Fever could be exactly what the team needs to secure a championship. But why would White leave the Connecticut Sun?
Obviously, there are personal reasons why you would want to be closer to home. But if you choose the Chicago Sky over the Indiana Fever at this point in time,
a team that's been in the mix for a championship each year, it's simple. The allure of coaching Caitlin Clark. The buzz around Clark has transformed the Fever from a struggling franchise to a must-watch team, both on the court and in the media.
When he was asked about Caitlin Clark, he said, "I have a great deal of respect for her because I know exactly what it means to be drafted, to be the face of a franchise, and also get the scrutiny from a lot of people that don't believe you're ready for the next jump."
White reportedly sees Clark as the key to not just winning games, but potentially dominating the WNBA. The Indiana Fever's new GM is wasting no time making big moves.
Some movement in the front office is happening at the Indiana Fever. The team announcing a former Dallas Wings executive will now be the general manager.
After taking over the reins, the new GM has made it clear that their #1 goal is to bring a championship to Indiana. And they're willing to pay top dollar to get the right coach in place to maximize Caitlin Clark's potential.
Some peaks and valleys. So I really feel like we're poised and we're set up for a great, successful next era of Fever basketball.
Stephanie White is at the top of their wish list. The new GM is said to be a fan of White's coaching style and believes she's the perfect fit to help build a championship culture around Clark.
You get 2 rookies of the year in a row with a front court player in Leah Boston, Caitlin Clark, and then Kelsey Mitchell. I think that the veteran leadership that Kelsey was able to provide.
According to league insiders, White is intrigued by the idea of coaching Clark, a generational talent capable of taking the Fever to the next level.
I think the outside noise, what she had to endure as a coach, and what they had to endure as a staff to keep that team focused and together.
White's potential move to Indiana would be a full circle moment as she began her head coaching career with the Fever. Now, she could be returning with a roster led by one of the most dynamic players in basketball. White's offensive system, built on ball movement and high IQ playmaking, fits perfectly with Clark's style.
Offensively, coach, what are you looking for?
We got to get the ball moving. Now, we're playing on one side of the floor. We're trying to make plays. Everybody's trying to make the hero play. We got to share the basketball. We got to chip away right now.
And let's not forget, the Fever's fan base is already buzzing with the possibility of this reunion. Meanwhile, the Chicago Sky are throwing everything at Stephanie White to convince her to head to the Windy City. With Angel Reese at the helm, the Sky have emerged as one of the most competitive teams in the league. And Reese, never one to shy away from competition, is reportedly making personal calls to White to pitch her on the idea of joining Chicago. Reese has made it clear that she wants a championship-caliber coach who can help elevate her game. She sees White as the perfect fit to help the Sky's young core develop and push for a title. Reese is even rumored to be offering White a role in shaping the roster and game strategy, making it a more collaborative role than most head coaching jobs. But White has a tough decision to make. While the Sky offer an intriguing opportunity, the Fever's combination of Caitlin Clark and the new GM's vision for the future might be too good to pass up. However, Reese's relentless pursuit could make things interesting. This isn't just about basketball for Reese. It's about establishing the Chicago Sky as the premier franchise in the WNBA. Reese has made no secret of her desire to bring a championship to Chicago and cement her legacy as one of the league's greatest players. By bringing in White, she believes the Sky could make a serious push for the WNBA Finals. With both the Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky competing for White's services, we're witnessing one of the most dramatic coaching carousels in WNBA history.
Choose the Chicago Sky over the Indiana Fever at this point in time. Maybe 3-4 years down the line, the Sky might not be the worst thing in the world, but like, that would be the dumbest thing. And by the way, I'm not talking like...
The stakes couldn't be higher. The Fever's new GM is reportedly prepared to offer White a long-term deal with significant financial incentives, while the Sky are promising more control over player decisions and game strategy. It's a classic case of choosing between star power and team potential. While Caitlin Clark offers White an immediate path to stardom, Angel Reese's recruitment could provide a more balanced roster with the opportunity to build a championship team over time. If White chooses Indiana, the Fever could instantly become favorites to win the championship in 2025. But if she heads to Chicago, the Sky could become a serious contender, especially with Reese continuing to improve and the team's young core developing quickly. Either way, White's decision will have major implications for the WNBA's balance of power. For Caitlin Clark, Stephanie White's potential arrival in Indiana would be a game changer. Clark has already proven that she can carry a team, but adding a coach like White could take her game to new heights. White's emphasis on ball movement, three-point shooting, and team chemistry aligns perfectly with Clark's strengths as a playmaker and sharpshooter. Clark's rookie season was filled with highlights, but her potential hasn't been fully unlocked yet. White's coaching style could help Clark become even more of a scoring and playmaking threat, making her one of the most dangerous players in WNBA history. But if White chooses to go to Chicago instead, it could change the entire trajectory of Clark's career. While Clark has already established herself as one of the league's brightest stars,
scored the most points by a point guard in WNBA history. The most amazing thing is not the unanimous Rookie of the Year. It's she's first team All-WNBA with the big dog. She's on the team with Asia Wilson. She's on the team with Stewie.
Having a proven head coach like White could be the missing piece needed to bring a championship to Indiana. Without White, the Fever might have to search for a different coaching candidate, which could slow down the team's progress. Meanwhile, Angel Reese isn't backing down. Her efforts to recruit White to Chicago have been relentless. Reese has reportedly offered to help White adjust to the team, even going as far as to suggest off-season training camps led by White herself. Reese knows that getting White on board could be the difference between a playoff exit and a deep run in the WNBA Finals. Reese's recruiting tactics are bold but effective. She's used her social media influence, connections, and even face-to-face meetings to make her pitch. For Reese, this isn't just about winning. It's about building a legacy in Chicago. But some analysts believe that Reese's aggressive recruitment could backfire, potentially putting too much pressure on White to deliver immediate results. The Sky's roster is still young, and White would have to navigate the challenges of building a cohesive team while managing Reese's high expectations. The battle for Stephanie White's services is shaping up to be one of the most pivotal moments in recent WNBA history. With two of the league's rising stars, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, competing for her attention, White holds the key to shaping the WNBA's future. Whether she chooses to reunite with Indiana and Caitlin Clark, or start fresh in Chicago with Angel Reese, her decision will have a lasting impact on the league. One thing's for sure, whichever team lands White will instantly become a championship contender. So, what do you think? Will Stephanie White choose to coach Caitlin Clark in Indiana or Angel Reese in Chicago? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more WNBA updates.